Okay, hello. So here's our demonstration for our fully associative cache simulator. So here here are our parameters. For our replacement policy, we can toggle between or switch between least recently used or most recently used. And here we have our block size, number of words per block, and then they're both to the power of 2 to the n, or 2 to the n. And we have our cache blocks here, also 2 to the n. And then here we have our cache access time and our memory access time. I'm going to leave it as just 1 and 100 for cache access time and memory access time respectively. So first I'm going to initialize it. And when you initialize it, you're greeted with we're greeted with this panel here. So here we can specify our access sequence. So we can have our test case where we could just do manual input. For our 3 test cases that were specified inside the how do you call this? The project specifications. We can have our sequential sequence. Sequential sequence has what was given as an example in the project. The mid-replete blocks, also what was given in the project. However, we also have our random sequence here, which just generates random, a random string of memory addresses, and they have 64 and there's 64 of these as well. So for now, I'm going to do our manual input here, and then I'll just do a random string. So 4, 5, and then I'll make sure to include the hits. So 2, something that will hit, 2 and 3, maybe 0, and then some random ones at the end that would not hit or would miss. So 64. So here you see we have 12 instructions here, and we can see the results in our cache memory snapshot, trace log, activity log, then our performance metrics down here in the bottom where we have our memory access count, cache hit count, cache miss count, our hit rate, miss rate, average access time, and also our total access time. So and we can of course step back and also step forward, or just instantly simulate everything, or restart the sequence. So I'll go ahead and just step forward for now. So you can see how it gets snapped. You can see how it accesses here. A miss is going to be shown as a red, and then you can see how it's traced into the how it's traced. So I'm going to continue here until we get a hit. And mind you, we're doing least recently used. So you'll see this get changed. Okay. So now we have green, and that indicates a hit. So I'm going to continue to step forward, and you can see how else it gets replaced. So there was only 1 hit, or I'm sorry, 2 hits. So you can see here we cache hit count of 2, which is accurate, miss count of 10, and we do have 12 instructions, 12 memory accesses, which is 12, and then hit rate, miss rate calculations, access time calculations, and total access time as well. And I will also just do this really quick. So whenever we're going to do another sequence, I like to initialize the cache, reset everything, and then I'll demonstrate just running it straight. So here is our sequential sequence, LRU, and then reinitialize again, do MRU. You can see how it changes. Yep. And then mid-repeat blocks, reset cache. Show you LRU first. This is our result. MRU. This is our result again. And of course, I'll demonstrate random sequence here. And then I'll show you this. It's very rare to get a hit, so we might get lucky if we get even one. So okay, we're lucky. And it seems like we hit in one of the instructions here as it was loaded before. Yep. So and then this is our calculation when we get a hit. Initialize again, MRU, simulate reset, or simulate the rest. Sorry, and then that's it. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you.